Welcome to Around the Weird. Here's your host, the museum curator of the strange and unusual, Mr. Nothing.
Thank you, mysterious voice, and welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature that I found in my travels. Today it is Poetry Thursday, a wonderful day to talk about all the poetry that people have inked out over the years. So today I wanted to focus on a poem about a vegetable of all things. I am referring to Iceberg Lettuce by Joanie Mackowski. For those who don't know, Joanie Mackowski is a poet slash professor. She's written a number of books, although I can't seem to find anything that she's written recently beyond maybe a few articles here and there. She's pretty well regarded, having received a number of awards. Although I say that, winning awards doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good writer. It just means that you found a group of people who are willing to hand you, a trophy or something like that. So just remember that when I say that going forward. Anyways, Joanie Mackowski's work is noted for focusing on really mundane things like vegetables in the case of this poem, or insects or nature, and just really hyping it up or exaggerating it in ways that are quite unusual. And the poems that I found from her so far are fairly interesting, making me really want to seek out more of her work. And as I mentioned before, she is a professor. If the website is up to date, and sometimes university websites can be a little dated, she seems to work at Cornell University, teaching both poetry and writing about literature. So, influencing the minds of the future. So without further ado, let's get to the poem. I will read it and do a little bit of an analysis, and then we will move on from there. Iceberg Lettuce by Joanie Mackowski. What vegetable leviathan extends beneath the dinner table, an unseen, monstrous green that pulls the chair out from under our faith and appearances? See a mere tuft of leaf on the plate like a wing. But if it flies away, it undoubtedly will disturb the continental drift asleep under the salad plate, the hidden world we forget as we reach for the smaller fork. And now, mouth full, don't speak. Politely chew your leaf of firmament that's torn and tossed up in vinegar here, as will be tossed before its vast root maybe someday, or any moment. And so that was Iceberg Lettuce by Joanie Mackowski, a pretty, I would say, fun and kind of different poem that I haven't really encountered much of. And I do like these kinds of poems that just make it mundane, everyday things into something quite extraordinary. So one thing that stands out to me with this poem is, again, what Joanie Mackowski is known for, turning the mundane into something extravagant. And you see that in the first verse where she says, "What vegetable leviathan extends beneath the dinner table? An unseen monstrous green that pulls the chair out from under our faith and appearances." And that really stands out to me, one, because she refers to it as a vegetable leviathan. And she's kind of not wrong, because iceberg lettuce, at least the head of the lettuce, is much larger than other vegetables that you're going to find out there. And she also refers to it as an unseen monstrous green, which internal rhyme is also something that she's known for. But that's really fun to say and fun to read. So it really helps this poem stand out from me. But what she's getting at is she's equating this seemingly normal vegetable into something that's impossibly large and monstrous even. It's just an overburdening, leafy vegetable that we can't seem to escape, that is going to devour us all in the end. But another thing about this poem that stands out is the final verse where she says, "Politely chew your leaf of firmament that's torn and tossed up in vinegar here, as will be tossed before its vast root, maybe someday or any moment. Which is, it sounds like a bit of a threat, or something really impossibly scary, because death is coming for us, and it could happen at any second. And it's not something that you would expect to find in this poem. Another thing you wouldn't expect to find is where she refers to the lettuce as your leaf of firmament. And I actually had to look this up because I didn't quite know what firmament meant, but it refers to the heavens, the great celestial beyond. And so to refer to a shred of lettuce as your leaf of firmament, that's applying some supernatural, I want to say, or even heavenly qualities to this vegetable. It's just a simple vegetable, we think, but it apparently, like according to Joanie Mackowski, she's equating it with the heavens, with the great beyond, and that's not something you really see every day. So I really like this poem because of the way that she manages to change my perspective, at least on what iceberg lettuce even is. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Iceberg Lettuce by Joanie Mackowski. A pretty fun and exciting poem, fairly short, and I feel like in a rare case where I'm going to criticize something for not being long enough, I do feel that Mackowski could have developed this idea more, to talk about maybe more aspects of the lettuce, or to just make this poem even more ridiculous than it already is. At least that's from my perspective. But I definitely recommend that you go seek this out and read it, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. Do you think that my review is spot on, or is there something else that I should have said about this poem? Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that more people can find out about Joanie Mackowski. And until then, I wish you the best of luck in your weird and vegetable travels. Farewell.